as it pertains to the Champions League game now. While Calzona, I think, is going to be, is he going to be on the touchline? Did they say?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, he will be. Okay, so um, it's Osimhen returns.
Yep.
You've got Politano and Kvaratskhelia, so they've got their front three back. Maybe this gives them a boost. They're playing a Barcelona team that's unbeaten in their last four, but it's also a Barcelona team that can concede. I mean, this isn't the most airtight team. They're still going to play their tiki taka. Xavi is manager. You get Robert Lewandowski at the end of this. Frankie De Jong, Ilkay Gundogan are having are obviously having very nice seasons playing for them as well. Obviously it's a star-studded team, and it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot for Napoli to try to overcome them over the course of two legs. But give the Napoli fans a reason why they would win here against Barcelona tomorrow.
There's a good chance. There's a good chance that Barcelona are going to overlook Napoli because of all the distractions going on. They're going to be like, "Oh, this game's already won because look what they got going on over there. They're a shit show over there." But you can't discount the Maradona. Maradona is a daunting place to play. It's a cauldron, like Mr. Bob was saying about the Wanda. It's a difficult place to play. When they pull up there in their bus, it's going to be greeted with fans that just want to throw shit at their bus and whatever. It's the Derby Della Maradona for them. It's huge. I'm sure it's going to be big for the Barcelona as well, but this team has it in them. I don't know how healthy Osimhen's going to be. He may get some minutes in this. It sounds like from the press conference today that he's getting it back into shape, but his minutes were limited in practice. I don't know if it's just to keep him fresh or what, but obviously he picked up a little injury in the AFCON tournament, but they have it. They have it in them. We've seen it this season. We've seen it last season where they took on the best teams in Europe and did well. They got to they got the quarterfinals of the Champions League last year, and the team is pretty much the same. They can stick to what they're good at. Calzona is not going to change for the 4-3-3, so they're used to that already. It's just about performing on the pitch. And I think with leaders like Di Lorenzo out there, it's going to help a lot. Hopefully Mario Rui gets in there because I think that'll be valuable for them if he starts in the game. I don't know if he's healthy or not. But they got the talent between Osimhen, Cavara, Politano. They have playmakers out there. You play your game, try to control possession over Barca. That's the big thing because Barca loves to control possession as well. Barca have not been typical Barca this year. Yeah, they're on a nice run right now, but this is not their ideal year. Everyone's talking about getting rid of Xavi because of how poor they're doing in the league. So you can get them. It's on the road. If you're going to get Barcelona, it's going to be at home if you're Napoli. And so I think they have a really great chance to get a result in this one. And that new manager bump, it's real. It does happen. Leverkusen is still riding that high from Xabi Alonso from last season. So it is real. And so I think they will play better. I think they're going to have to because they know that the way they've been performing in front of their own fans has not been good enough. And, they're going to be fired up because of the way that crowd's going to be ready for that game.
If SofaScore is to be believed, it makes all the sense in the world for Barcelona to start the way they'd be starting with Koundé as a right back, as a guy that could deal with Kvaratskhelia in 1v1s, and you've got Araujo and Inigo Martinez, in the center back positions, and then you've got those three guys now that can give Joao Cancelo some freedom to go forward down the left hand side. So we'll see if that really happens. I see a comment about Lamine Yamal, 16 years old. This guy's got the world at his feet. Talented player. I definitely agree with that. They're going to have to watch out for him. But it hasn't quite got on in the Champions League when he's gotten his opportunities yet. We'll see if that, he has an impact. But the man you obviously got to be careful of is Robert Lewandowski up front. The man doesn't need that much space. He doesn't need an introduction. He'll take whatever you give him and he'll turn it into a goal. The service is going to be a little bit different. They are dealing with some injuries, some guys that are not going to be available. Ferran Torres won't be available. Alejandro Balde and Marcos Alonso are a couple of defenders that are out for them. Gavi's out for them, and Joao Felix is a doubt. I don't see anything about Rafinha, and interestingly enough, SofaScore doesn't project him to start, so we'll have to see what happens with that. So, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, so there's a couple questions in the chat in regards to this game. First, well, I guess the bigger question with Napoli, are we going to see better results than we did with Mazzari? I'm going to say yes, it has to. It can't get any worse than
Yeah, it
what
can't get
it's been.
worse.
What else is there? Eduardo says, will Napoli even make Conference League this year? It's going to be hard. The teams in front of them are playing very well. I mean, Bologna is going to be likely in a Conference League spot or a Europa League spot. So, I mean, it's going to be extremely difficult. I don't know what are your thoughts, Frank?
Um, I mean, it's kind of hard to predict. You know, when you think about it, it's kind of hard to predict
Yeah.
the rest of the places for Europe right now, for Serie A, because these teams are flying these in so many different directions. It's crazy. I mean, Napoli's only 2 points behind Fiorentina with a game in hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not out of the question, you know, and they can start gaining some ground and start working their way back up. It's only going to take a couple of wins to get them right back into the conversation. So it's
Well,
not like there's
Look at Roma, right? 4 wins and 5, and all of a sudden they're back in the Champions League discussion.
right. It's not all. It's not all doom and gloom, you know.
Yeah.
So, and now fifth place is in all likelihood going to get a Champions League spot next season. The way it's being reformatted, Italy has got the highest coefficient,
Yeah.
followed by Germany and then England. So, you know, so you have that in front of you. So, you know, fifth becomes a very intriguing spot. But I can see now that Osimhen is back, you know, they figure a few things out. They get a little bit of a mojo back. The talent is obviously there, you know, to snatch a European to snatch a higher end European place. They just got to go out there and produce, you know. And I think if they can do that, it's be a heck of a consolation for the season that they had. It's going to take some work because Atalanta don't show any signs of slowing down.
No.
You know, Bologna have just been unbelievably consistent, and Thiago Motta gets a ton of credit for that. Roma's on the ascendancy. Lazio's getting inconsistent. Fiorentina's getting inconsistent. So there's a couple of places you can snag there. We'll see. I won't rule it out. So
Ollie, no updates on Marcus Thuram injury. Well, the question is how many weeks, depending on how serious his hamstring injury is, if that's what it was. Dominic had a question here. If for some reason the season does get worse, does ADL sell Napoli before he's chased out of the country? I say no. I think he thinks he's the god for bringing a title to the city.
His ego won't let him sell the club.
No. Yeah, exactly. Are they going to look him down upon him? Yes, but again, they're going to look back and say, well, we did win a Scudetto 33 years, you know. Don't be a dickhead next time, but you know a lot of it does fall on him, for sure. You know, when all said and done.
Yep. 2-2. I think it's gonna be a hell of a game. I think there's gonna be a lot of attacking. Two teams that can't defend. Good goal scorers on both sides. 2-2.
Wow.
For the first leg.
I'm gonna go. Let's just change it up. Let's go 2-1 Napoli.
All right, you'll go for the win. So.